Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Voidless devlog. So you may remember from a few months back when I was first making Voidless in Game Maker, and I really liked the concept, but I kind of gave it up because at the time I was working on 1000-bit. But I really liked the gameplay, so I decided to recreate it right now, after I was done with I'm Not Quite Dead Yet. As for the engine, I won't be using Game Maker because I want to port it to mobile, because I think it would make a really fun game for mobile, because it's just so easy to understand. So I chose Monogame instead. In fact, I already have experience exporting to Android with Monogame. I didn't choose Unity because I wanted really fine control of everything, and with Unity, there's a lot of systems already in place, running in the background, that can slow down the game or make it harder for me to program things, etc. So the first thing I wanted to do is get procedural terrain generation working. It all originated from a video I saw of someone making terrain using 3D Perlin noise, and I thought it was really cool to make my own procedurally generated terrain, except I wanted to try doing it in 3D, but it was just too hard for me. And I thought that this concept could work really well with Voidless, because it's just supposed to be about exploration and navigation more than anything else. So I quickly stole some simplex noise code from some website and put it into my game, and then I just have a grid or 2D array of booleans saying if there's a tile somewhere or not, and then I basically draw the tiles or create the tiles at all if the noise value is above a certain threshold, and this is what it looks like. Next was player movement. At this point, I wanted the player to only be 1 pixel big for stylistic reasons, although later I changed that. After a lot of tweaking and fine-tuning, this is what I got. I had a lot of problems with collisions and integers and doubles and so on, but eventually I got it working. And after that, I worked on the flight mechanic. Here it looks a little weird because basically the entire screen is pixelated, so the player kind of jitters. And this is a problem that I later overcame by just allowing the player to be in sub-pixel positions, but for now you'll just see this jitter a lot. After that, I implemented a simple camera to follow the player and to have bigger worlds. I also repeated the entire map over to the left and right and everywhere else, so that it would look like it was infinite, even though after some time you'd see that it repeats. The player also wraps around the screen from the bottom to the top, and vice versa, and from the left to the right. However, here you can see some jagged edges where the two worlds meet. This I later solved by having a second simplex noise that would then decrease the tiles to a certain height and make it kind of wavy, and that way it's less noticeable. Then the next step I did was quite a huge one, because I increased the player to be 4x4 pixels. I did this initially to decrease jitter, which I later solved with another solution, but I ended up staying with the 4x4 player. And I also gave the tiles different colors depending on their depths. Then the next thing I did Saturday morning was to make a mobile port to see if it would work at all, and it actually did. It worked really well. I had a few problems with the touch detection system, but eventually I got it all sorted, and here you can see me playing it on my tablet. Then the next thing I did, which actually solved the jitter, was allowing the player and the camera to be in sub-pixel positions. And you might also have noticed that the sky is a different color now. The original color of the sky was just the classic cornflower blue, but now I just wrote the color of the sky into the same texture in which I had all the colors of the tiles. And then finally I added some simple player animations. Then the next thing I did was add a simple cursor, and then I added new worlds with different theme colors. So this is the classic grassy theme. This is the snowy mountains theme. This is the cavern theme. This is the ether theme. The colors are actually taken straight out of a screenshot of the ether mod for Minecraft. This is the rainy or cloudy day theme. This is the underwater theme. And finally, this is the space theme. I actually ended up creating a slightly different algorithm for the space theme, which you see over here. And that was pretty much the last thing that I did until this point. Also, another subtle change that you might have noticed is in the terrain generation. I made a special finished terrain algorithm which would remove the one block tall or 2 block tall platforms or 1 block wide platforms and generally smooth things out a bit. And I also introduced 2 additional noise layers and took away the tiles from those layers. So now you could see things like holes completely surrounded by walls and other such cool things. The next thing I'm going to focus on is making the game look good, and I honestly wanted to still do this for this video, but there's so many things, like islands in the background, a sun, post-processing, vignette, water. I also wanted to add water and waterfalls, that this video would just be too long. So that's it, I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.